I'm Keontae Tyler. I'm one of his teammates, and Will, he been one of the greatest players, like runners that I ever seen. Like he have that work ethic that I never seen. Like he pushes himself so hard that just like nobody else does it on like the team. So this is a great accomplishment for him to go to Beufort and just to succeed.
I'm Coach Ron Carson. I was Will's AAU coach, and elementary is middle school track coach, high school track coach, and his cross country coach in middle school as well. So, life coach, Coach Carson.
I'm Danny Johnson. I coach boys cross country. I've had the opportunity to coach Will last 4 years. Will is a natural at running. Particularly at the mid, what we call the mid distance events. He did run cross country and was able to even succeed at that level, which is a longer distance event. But he worked at it real hard. Eventually got in our top 7 runners and competed at the highest level in cross country at the state event the last 2 years.
I'm Coach Carlos Jones, coach track and field. Had the opportunity to coach Will for 4 years. Will is an awesome athlete. He trains hard. One of the things about Will, he's a quiet leader. He doesn't say much, but he leads by example, working hard on the track, and other kids try to follow him. And I'm very proud of Will.
I'm Cherie Anderson. I'm Will's mom. He's been in sports since he was age 4. He started out with flag football and then went on up to track and football. He started track in the 5th grade, and then once he got to middle school, he started football. And he's continued sports throughout his school year. And I'm very proud of him as his mom.
My name is Will Stone, and I'm going to be attending USCB and to continue my track career. And I'm thankful for these people with me right now, and it's been a blessing for me to continue my track career.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's such an exciting time for Mr. Will Stone here. What's up, Will?
What's up?
All right, we're here. Will is signing a scholarship for track and field to the University of South Carolina, Beaufort, and we couldn't be any more proud. Will, what are you feeling right now? This is a day that you've been waiting for.
Track is one of the things that I've been focusing on throughout my life, and it's very exciting, and I'm very happy to just continue my life
And
running track.
now, Will, you've been playing sports and being active. When did you first start?
I've started when I was 4, and I'm here now. Yeah.
And you're here now. Fast forward a few years.
Yes,
I mean, did you ever, growing up, think that you wanted to go to the next level and go to college and play that sport, or
You know how all these little kids, they think they're gonna be like police officer or firefighter.
Right.
That's how I was.
yeah.
Yeah.
You still can be, but you be able to run real fast.
Yeah.
We've got your coaches here for track and field. Coach, talk to us a little bit about your working with Will through the years and what you've seen in him as an athlete, and to be with him today signing the scholarship.
First of all, it's an awesome experience. Will made it easy to coach. I mean, he wasn't the kid that you just had to go out there and say, time to warm up, need to stretch. I mean, he was always doing what he needed to do to take care of his body, to put himself in position to run. And he was a leader. He was always an example. He was someone that you can always use to the other kids as an example of this is how you do the sport. When we needed someone to emulate how to get on the block, how to come out the block,
Yeah.
Where you need to be coming in the curve, we can always say, watch Will.
Watch Will.
Yeah, and so it's been a pleasure coaching Will.
It's been a pleasure watching you, Will. All right, Coach, talk to us, Coach Carson, about your working with Will and his work ethic, and then, of course, now transitioning the way that he is.
When I first got him, he was just coming out of 4th grade, and Coach Bobby Thomas down at Southwest recommended, you got to see this kid. And I got him. He was a distance runner.
Wow.
But, that's not glamorous and glorious for the kids. They want Hollywood things like the sprinting. So he wanted to be a sprinter, and he had no kind of ability in sprint, but he wanted to run them. And I said, well, you want to do that? We'll develop you. And and he developed into this great sprinter he is now. But he's still got that strong base and distance too, which makes him an ideal 400 runner, and he's gone far with it.
Here we go. Here we go. And we want to talk about those stats, Will. Now, tell us what you competed in, and tell us how well you have done. Brag on yourself a little bit.
I competed in the 400, the 200, the 800, and the 4x4 and 4x1.
Wow. And how far did you go with that?
I made it to state in the 400, 200, and then 4x4, but I messed up I did something to my hamstring at state this year, and that cut off the 400, not the 400, but the 4x4 and the 200.
But you've competed and done so well. And you talk about when you use this young man as an example for others. I mean, do you get runners like this every day?
No. Yeah, if we had runners like him every day, we'd be competing for state championships, state titles. But he also left out. He went to state in the 4x1 as well.
Oh, wow.
And
He's a goat,
yes, and he worked very hard for those accomplishments. He set the school record again. He broke the record last year in the 400. Broke his own record this year in state. He ran a 48-1 in the 400. We actually moved him to the 200 this year. Last year he was a 400 and 800 runner, which he made it to state last year in those two events, along with the 4x4. And this year he went to the 200. He had a personal best of 22:12. I mean, 22:12, and it was great. I mean, just to make that transition and to see him do it. He said, "Coach, I want to do the 200."
Oh, wow.
And we needed those points in the 800, but he worked out with the 200, and we had somebody that stepped up in his place for the 800, and he went to state in it. And I think that's remarkable. And we're very proud of what Will has done. It's awesome when you get to the state and you got coaches. Is Will here?
Yeah.
I mean, from all over, people asking for Will.
Shivering.
Yeah,
Will didn't
and
make
so
it. Will made it.
and so it's. I mean, that's awesome that
It is.
people know who Will is.
Yeah.
They know Will Stone.
It's like your name is great. And it's like, and so when they hear his name,
Yes.
they shiver. And, Will, for the coach to talk about you like this and just to kind of bring out your accolades a little bit. I mean, you're very humble. Just from sitting with you, you seem very humble. And where does all this come from, to be able to be as athletic as you are and to still stay grounded?
My mom.
Your mom,
She,
right?
yeah, she's a good mom.
And that's good, to hear that from your home training that you receive. Coach Carson, what do you want to add, to what Coach is saying about him and his competitive level and how well he has done?
Like you said, he's quiet, but he coaches the team too. He teaches a lot by example, and him doing, and he'll correct people, help them out, and he's not afraid to tell you you're doing it wrong and show them the right way to do it. But his records extend back to middle school too. He's running 52 in seventh grade in the 400, and that would have qualified for state this year. In high school as a seventh grader. So phenomenal.
And when you're hearing these numbers, if you don't know about running, you wouldn't understand what these numbers mean, but you need to listen to what they're saying. I mean, Will, now, how do you get yourself prepared, and how do you make your time better? What do you do to work on you to make sure that your time is better? Because you're beating your own records here.
I work hard at practice. I push myself to as much as I can. I do the workouts that coaches put up for, and it just makes me faster and perform well.
Yeah. And, for your teammates, so we always look for seniors to be leaders. Do you consider yourself a leader, and what have you been doing throughout these years to encourage your teammates and to help push them?
I do consider myself as a leader because I want myself to be better, and I want my teammates to compete like as good as I can. Yeah. And yeah.
You just push them.
Yes,
and, Coach, on a personal level, I mean, your baby girl, she's doing some damage down there, you was signed for a scholarship down in Savannah, and she's doing great things. And so what advice, what advice do you want Will to have to be able to take with him? Because, I mean, we know that transition is not easy, but his time, it speaks for itself. And so what do you want him to know as a young man that he's going to need when he goes to South Carolina and he'll have to keep with him wherever he goes?
First of all, Will, you're going to have to stay grounded. Yeah. We've seen the values in you. We've done the best we can to put values in you, values that you've learned from your mom and other people who's supported you. You're going to have to take those values with you because once you go off into college, you're going into a whole new world. It's different than going on a job. Normally, you go on a job, you still go on the people whose backgrounds you're used to. Right. But when you go off to college, you got people from all over the world, different backgrounds, different cultures, different beliefs. Yeah. And so you got to know who you are, and you got to be true to who you are, not easily influenced by someone else's culture, someone else's belief. There's people who are not going to believe in working hard, even on the track team. Right. There's people who got there off pure talent, and they going to show up late to practice, and so that they don't look bad. They're going to try to encourage you to do the same. But you hold on to those ethics, and you continue to work hard. We've done the best we can to emulate our workouts to what you'll see at the next level. But I promise you, it will turn up. Yeah. And so you got to be willing to do those workouts. You got to be willing to push through pain, push through tired when you're tired and don't feel like it because you feel like they don't gave you too much. You can do it. Yeah. Just remember what we always told you. You got to be stronger than what your body is telling. Your mind is stronger than your body, and continue to push. Work hard in school. Keep those grades first, and always keep God ahead of all of it.
Oh, that's good. You know, you just preached a sermon. That was great. That was really great. Coach Carson, what words of wisdom do you want to give this young man? Because, you know, you all have seen this. I mean, that's what, you prepare these young men and young women for greatness. You're preparing them to go to the next level. So this is what you actually want to see. And so when you're seeing him in this position, you still want him to know that there's still a big world out there. You know, it's like a little fish in a big pond, because I think that he's so great at what he does, and you brought out something key, And look, there's going to be a lot of great ones. And there's going to be a lot of great ones there. And so what do you want him to know to take with him, Coach?
Yeah, well, it goes beyond just running. The main thing I want to see is will, knowing who you are, and don't forget who you are and where you came from, and that you always have family here. You're not just West Lawrence family, but you're part Carson family, Jones family, Coach Johnson family, and we're always here with anything you need, or any help you might need, questions you might have, whatever. But don't hesitate to ask. Don't hesitate to reach out. Don't trust everybody. You know who we are. You know where your home is. So seek those people, because anybody can tell you anything. But it's about your well-being and you getting what you setting out to do. If it's running, if it's education, which it is, and that's the first thing, and running second, and then getting it. And getting it done.
Very good, very good. Now, you're taking in everything that they're saying, Will. What kind of words do you want to leave with these coaches, and the impact that they've made on your life?
I just want to thank y'all for just working with me and just pushing me as hard as y'all could, and just making me a better person. You're good, you're good. Just in class and on the track, and just I thank y'all.
Very good. Thank you, coaches, so much. I mean, you guys do such an outstanding job, and we know that you guys work out of a spirit of excellence, and that's what you expect out of your players. And now here's the proof. It's in the pudding right here. All right. Nothing less. Coach Carson, thank you. Coach Jones, appreciate you.
The temperature is rising. Why not make a big splash with your family and friends this summer with a pool from Georgia Pools? A relaxed and a luxurious feeling of a hot tub or sauna. Georgia Pools has a large selection of pool chemicals and accessories from name brands like Polaris, Aquabot, Pro Team Chemicals, and more. Already have a pool and need a new liner? Give Georgia Pools a call today at 478-275-3607 or stop in and visit their showroom at 1201 Hillcrest Parkway, Dublin, Georgia. Georgia Pools, Middle Georgia's largest above-ground pool dealer. Financing is available.
We're here today at Bank of Dudley to discuss business loans. So many businesses and industries trust the Bank of Dudley for a variety of financing alternatives to suit your specific needs, from short-term loans to help with cash flow, loans to purchase equipment or facilities. At Bank of Dudley, we have commercial mortgage loans, capital improvement loans for construction or renovation. We can help with your business vehicle loans or for a small business line of credit. In other words, Bank of Dudley has your business covered. No matter what it is, you can trust the lenders at the Bank of Dudley with 5 convenient locations: East Dublin, downtown Dublin, Veterans Boulevard, Dudley, and Jeffersonville. The Bank of Dudley, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
You know, talking about Will and how great of an athlete he is, we've got his cross-country coach, Coach Danny Johnson. Hey, Coach.
How you doing, Pat?
Doing very well. Now, you know, you guys, you've been so busy. You are involved in a lot of things, and of course, we want you to talk about this young man right here, how you've seen him out there running, and the improvements that you've seen on him, and what you expect out of him at the college level. Talk to us, Coach.
Number one, Will's an excellent person. Starting off before we get into his accomplishments, you know, in cross country and you know, on the track. But I taught him in biology, and you know, he's a very nice, respectful young man, polite, and you know, that's a good base. And you know, I'd already coached him 1 year, but I had him as a sophomore in classroom and got to know a little bit more about him that way. And you know, it just by him having those qualities, it just makes him very coachable.
Yeah,
He's a very coachable kid.
That's a good word when you're talking about coachable, because you can have an athlete who has all the talent in the world, but head so big you can't even get them to do simple things.
And then that's not Will. Wow. Now, starting a little bit about, you know, his cross country accomplishments. Like I was saying earlier, he you know, he's a natural on the track, but his talents, you know, can extend to more distance with cross country, because, you know, I knew he was great on the track, you know, particularly at what I call the mid-distance events, the 400, the 800. And then it extends a little further into the mile and 2 mile, which he could have run in high school as well, but you know, you can only run so many events, you know, at a track and field meet. So you know, he was, I guess, he was more needed at those 400, 800, 200 type events. But cross country is 3.1 miles. You know, we talk 2 miles. You got to run another mile to get.
We know it.
Yeah. You know, when some track kids, you know, look at it as a way to stay in shape in the fall for track, and certainly, you know, I'm sure that was part of it for Will, but Will was good enough, you know, and talented enough, even you know, even at that extra distance to contribute on the team. You know, he was top 7. I think I you know, counted one short. He was top 7 his last 3 years. You know, and only the top 7 can compete at the region meet and the state meet, and you know, that says a lot for you know him and his ability. Even though, you know, on the track, not all our cross country guys, you know, can do that. You know, go the other way and, you know, be successful, you know, at the shorter distance events. But you know, Will was certainly able to do that.
Very nice. And you know, you're talking about 3.1 miles.
That's right.
Continuous.
That's right.
Like running it, not walking or crawling like I would have wound up doing, right?
Yeah. And here in the South, you know, we run in July and August, and you know, in the humidity, and you know, you have to be. You have to be acclimated to that.
Absolutely,
and conditioned for that.
Absolutely. And, you know, Will, you're talking about, you know, as Coach is sharing about you and your cross-country experience, let us hear from you about what your experience was with cross-country.
It was intense. The workouts was intense. When we went out to the triangle or the rectangle, I was about to die. It was crazy. Yeah.
We name our courses sometimes by the shape of them, the triangle, the rectangle, and we do have one called the Decagon, which you have several several turns on that, which is. I say in practice we ran anywhere from on average maybe 4 miles to sometimes up to 8 miles in a training session, and like I said, it just goes to show you how diverse Will is as a runner.
When really, because it requires a certain such a bit of stamina to be able to endure that and to enjoy it, right? So you found out that you didn't die. Right, so you made it through 4 years of cross country. What has your experience been like being coached by Coach Danny Johnson?
Well, it's been a blessing. I appreciate all the things that he's done for me, and I appreciate the training and just making me better, pushing me, just making the whole team like a better.
Yeah,
better
making it more
team.
competitive.
Yeah,
I mean, that's good, and working together. And Coach Johnson, you've seen many of your players, in several sports go off to play college.
Yeah.
And now Will is getting ready to go for track and field. Now, share with us. I mean, what kind of words of wisdom do you want him to have? Because you've seen his work ethic at the high school level, and we know that it's going to require even more so at the college level. So, what do you want Will to know today?
Well, first of all, just to mention it, Will's junior and senior year, we won region at cross country, basically for the first time I think since maybe '92 or something like that. So it was a long time coming, and Will was a big part of that. He was, and I knew Will had talent. I coached tennis here in the spring, but Coach Carson, and our he's the girls' coach in cross country, and he's coached Will, pretty much middle school, high school, all throughout. So through Coach Carson and through I kept up with Will in the spring. I always asked him in the hallway and whatnot how he was doing, what were his times in his events, and I'm just really proud of him for his accomplishments, and he gets to continue his education and his track career, and that's an excellent opportunity for a young man.
This is really exciting, and of course, Will, when you hear your coaches, when they speak about you the way that they do, I mean, I think for me, I'm not Will, but I'm kind of wishing I was. Because it's like, he's able to really hear your heart of what you've seen in him as an athlete and his aspirations of where he's going and how you've seen that in him early on. And so, Will, this man right here, I mean, he's done a lot for so many kids, And so what last words do you want to make sure that he knows?
I'm thankful for you, and it's
no words, right?
Yeah, I'm
speechless. You're speechless. But I'm going to say this here. Coach Danny Johnson, thank you, because you do a lot. You do a lot of things people don't even know that you do to kind of push these kids to that next level, to ensure that things are well in the classrooms, on the fields, on the court. And so we thank you for that. And we know that you're going to continue doing it because it comes from your heart.
Well, it's nice when you have good people like Will, and you just want to work, see them succeed, and just play your part in trying to make that happen and help that happen for them.
Thank you so much, Will. We know you're still speechless, right? All right, thank you. Thanks, Coach Johnson. Thank you.
Experience the perfect blend of style and comfort at Hunters Point Luxury Apartment Units. These 3-bedroom, 2-bath duplexes are beautifully designed with a look of hardwood flooring, modern fixtures, and plenty of natural light. The kitchen is outfitted with stainless steel appliances, beautiful countertops, and cabinetry. And these brand new 3-bedroom, 2-bath duplexes are complete with garage. These duplexes are move-in ready. Hunters Point Luxury Apartment Units. Call Kay Grace & Company now at 353-1123 and visit Hunters Point Luxury Apartment Units, conveniently located on Claxton Dairy beside Springdale Park.
I attended Oconee Fall Line Technical College, and like many others, I was considered a non-traditional student.
My classes at OFTC have taught me the different aspects of a criminal mind and the way the criminal acts.
The term non-traditional career refers to jobs that have traditionally been held by one gender. That would be like males in cosmetology or females in welding.
Anyone can do it, regardless of the gender, and as long as you put your mind to it, you can succeed and achieve all your goals.
All right, now we've got the woman who Will says he gets all of his talent from and his, the home training. Cherie, how are you?
I'm good. I'm doing good.
What are you feeling right now? Because you've got how many other children?
It's 3 others.
3 others, and they've all been signing scholarships
Correct. Yes, they have.
for track and field.
Yes.
Wow. So this is part of the legacy, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Share with us about it being your last one now, getting ready to go off to college.
Well, he's not quite the last.
Oh, you
He's
got another one.
Next to the last.
Next
yes.
to the last.
So it's very exciting as his mom. And because he's been doing sports since, like I said, he was age,
Four,
in
about
4,
four,
yeah,
yeah,
about 4
about
years
4 years
old.
old.
So it's very exciting. I'm truly just so proud of him because he's the one that pushes himself.
Yeah.
You don't have to do a whole lot with him. And he has that determination, that inward determination that a lot of people don't have.
Right.
So I'm just honored to be his mom too.
Yeah.
And so he works hard in school with his grades and everything. And he's that person, he's very hard on himself.
Oh, yeah.
So that's with school and with practice and any event that he does.
Very good.
So I'm just proud of him.
Where does he get that from? Now, you said you're an athlete as well, or were an athlete. You ran track as well?
Right, in school, in high school I did.
Nice. And so tell us about your other kids. So you have 2 others that signed?
Yes, I have 2 others. My oldest, he actually went to Augusta State for track, but then he left there. He did a year. He's now in the Air Force. He's in Japan now. My daughter, she's going to Columbus State. She got a academic scholarship,
Very
actually.
nice.
And she's doing very well. She's going for nursing, so she's been there for 2 years now.
All right, very good. And your youngest?
The youngest is 10. So
Well, woman, Cherie, look at you. And so this is just so wonderful. We're laughing with your mom here. When you think about your brother and sister that went before you, that have gone before you, that are in college, being athletes, student athletes, how does it feel for you, Will, to continue in that family legacy?
It feels great. I want to make them proud, and I want to make myself proud too. And it's just continue on with the I guess.
Yeah, that family tradition, so this is a really big thing. And Mom, it's like you have impacted his life quite a bit, because he talked about how, he gets so many things from you. And how do you feel as a mom to know that you've been all of the work, all the sacrifices that you've made for your child, your children, and just to see him where he is today?
Again, it's exciting,
Yeah.
but me as parents, you don't think about these things. This is something that you just know you have to do for your children.
Right.
And I've always wanted to be there and support my kids, whatever they decided to do. This is not something that I actually want, I didn't want them to do this exactly for me or for anyone else. Everything that they decided to do, I was like, hey, what sport do you want to play? This is
you
what
want to play,
exactly.
right.
So they decided these things to do to themselves, and he decided to do track itself. So
Very nice. And we're hearing all the coaches and all the things that they're saying about Will and his work ethic. Now, how was he when he was a little one? I mean, because we see Will is quiet, he's humble, he's, how was he growing up as a little one?
he's always been quiet. He got into little things, of course, as a kid, but it's nothing out of the ordinary. But he's always been quiet. He's one of those children, like, if the other kids wanted to do something that they didn't have any business, they'll say, okay, I'll be willing to take Will with me, but I don't want to take nobody else, because he doesn't tell anything.
Oh, Will doesn't ask or tell. So
No,
he was the
do
perfect
anything.
one to go do some dirty. And Will, it's like this. It's like, do you remember when your siblings first went off to college?
Yes, Mom, I do.
And so what did you think about that? And then seeing one of them running, in college, did they kind of give you some advice?
Yeah, they did. When they left, of course I was sad, but like it just made me feel like that I needed to do like more than they did, because The siblings, you wanna do better than the one that's before you. So.
Right. So you trying to outdo him, I see. But it's like really when you talk about the family legacy, when you talk about seeing your children, for one, going to college, scholarships, academic scholarships, athletic scholarships. This is huge because, sometimes some kids are the first ones to go to college in their families. And so you're setting the bar. And then you've got your 10-year-old sibling that's looking up to you as well. And so have you gotten to go see your, is your brother
Yes, ma'am.
that's running track? Were you able to see him in college run track?
No, I didn't. He was all the way in Augusta, so I was down here. So.
And so they've given you advice. You're taking it all in. So you're ready.
Yes, ma'am.
But we got to hear from Mama. Mama, now look, you have taught this young man. You have been with him through thick and thin. Now you got to let him go on to college. What kind of advice, what message you want him to have coming from you that's going to help him? Because we know that you've been training him all along. But what do you want him to know and the people out there to know to encourage your son?
Of course, he's been raised up in the church, so he knows he always stay prayerful, whatever is going on. Because sometimes in life you're not going to be able to get to someone.
You say that. That's true.
So you always pray, stay focused, which he doesn't have a problem with that, staying focused and determined. But he always knows he has a family here. I'm always going to be here. Always. Now, I'm a little sad to see him leaving. But
I know. I know.
But him and his siblings, all of us are very close-knit. So he knows he can always pick up the phone and call.
That's good. And and rest assured you've trained him right.
Yes.
And so even though it's going to be difficult, it's like you're preparing him for this transition.
Right.
And Will, what do you want your mom to know from you? Because, I think as mothers, our heart goes out to our children. And it's like, even when you're away, you're going to college, we know we've raised you, there's still a part of us that wants to know that you're going to be all right. Okay. And we want to know that what we've done for you as your mom, that you appreciate it, and that you've listened. What do you want your mama to know?
Like you said, I appreciate everything you've done for me, and thank you for giving birth to me. And
It's not an easy thing, Mom.
Yeah.
You know that, right? For sure. And of course, she's still your mama, so you know that you always.
And I love you. I love you.
And I love you too. And one other thing about Will, that's not shared. A lot of people don't know, but Will was a premature child, and he had a learning disability throughout. And for him to be able to accomplish the things that he has accomplished and has that self-determination, it's a blessing, and it lets other kids know that regardless of what, you can still make it and still be successful.
That's right. All of these obstacles, Will, from birth, here you are, babe. You're proven and defying all the odds, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All the odds. And so even with that, whatever disability, look at you, man. You're running. You're going past that, and so we're proud of you. So proud of you.
Thank you.
All right. Mom, this has been great. This has been great. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for, watching this here, just to seeing the coaches, what they think and how highly they think of Will, his work ethic, where he started off with Mama, and of course, knowing that his siblings are in college as well, and just this family legacy that's being passed on. And it's so nice to see, and we're so proud of you, Will. And so we're expecting nothing but great things from you. You're about to be a sand shark?
Yes, ma'am. I am.
A sand shark, Mama.
Yes.
Get your colors, get your outfits ready, get your, track star mom T-shirts ready. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Will Stone. He's going to University of South Carolina, Beufort on a track and field scholarship. He's broken many records here at West Lawrence, and we're only expecting great things from him to come in South Carolina. All right, thank you all so much. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we have for Real Talk here on TV 35, and please keep watching.